Here we go. Here we go again. Ladies and gentlemen, the king is spoken. Well, let's get to it, shall we? The Sean Diddy Combs trial, which we like to call the Diddy Trial. We're on day 9. And now we got Kid Cudi on the stand. And the defense took a unique approach in dealing with the situation. What's up, Bear? I see you. Don't y'all forget to hit the like button coming through the door. Appreciate it. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page if you're new. Yes, there was a lot of problems on the on the home front. Well, yeah, we're gonna get into Kid Cudi. We're just giving people a little time to get here. Yes. Took the stand. Remember, they had to finish with Kaplan. Mm-hmm. Well, thank you, because that's rather unique. Oh, like we do. You got to get to the sauce. Oh, we're more than ready. Now, well, thank you. I appreciate that, Lexus. Now, on day 9, they brought in 6 witnesses, right? Including Kid Cudi. So everybody in the courtroom is excited because they're ready for some Cudi. So anyway, they're talking before the jury comes in. The judge said, I didn't hear the government object to Mr. Kaplan testifying about Mrs. Ventura asking for drugs in Boston. So the judge said, let's get Mr. Kaplan back on the stand. So the witness enters, which is Mr. Kaplan, right? So the trial, the jury, everybody comes in, and they said, when did you carry cash from Mr. Combs? And then George Kaplan said, 50,000 on his private jet. They said, did you pick up cash for Mr. Combs? 10,000 at Western Union for Combs Enterprises. What long-term relationship of Mr. Combs were you aware of? George Kaplan, Cassie, Kim, Gina. They was like, he said, who was Kim? The mother of his children. They said, well, who was Cassie? Kaplan's like, the girlfriend. Gina, another girlfriend. So they said, okay, the jet flight to Las Vegas. What was the layout of the jet? 4 chairs, a partition. I had a partial view over my right shoulder. When you witnessed violence by Mr. Combs on Miss Ventura, why didn't you intervene? My career. So the government goes again and says, after the last glass breaking, what did Mr. Combs do, Kaplan? He said, oh, he came forward. Cassie stayed in the back. He asked me to get creams to conceal the bruising on her face. How did you pay for it? Corporate credit card. Why did you leave Comb Enterprises? I didn't think I should be covering things up, like buying the witch hazel. Also, my father had prostate cancer. Any of violence? He threw things at Gina in the entryway of the main house at Star Mansion, Star Island. What was he throwing? Green apples. How hard? Very hard. Later, I took the medicine bag into the room. Mr. Combs wanted me to leave quickly. Then what? I heard Gina at the gates and male voices. Who? Security. When you left, what did you do? I collected myself, then went to work for an intricate market firm. So they were like, no further questions, Your Honor. So the judge is like, okay, cross. So now Diddy's defense finally gets to talk to Kaplan. They didn't want Kaplan to take the stand because they felt like, come on, really? He got immunity. You brought this guy on. He was only there less than 2 years. Okay, let's see where this goes. So the defense comes in and said, what did you go to work? Why did you go to work for Combs Enterprises? He said he was an incredible entrepreneur. I've learned from him. What did Brian do as COO? Ensuring profitability of each unit. Kaplan said, I was an employee when Revolt TV launched. Tell me about it. We were on the 6th floor on 17th and 10th Broadway. Everyone was there. It was monumentous. Diversity was important to Mr. Combs, was it? Especially for African Americans. What did Blue Flame do? Marketing for Ciroc. What is Diageo? Oh, this is the first time they're mentioning the liquor company that set up this whole BS. They own Johnny Walker and others. Mr. Combs set up a marketing entity for Ciroc. Your job, what was it? For example, Mr. Combs would say, we're going to leave the house. He meant 3 to 5 minutes. I had a checklist for the bags, the toiletry. It was a bad look in for me if something was missing there. Is there a binder near you? I can't read that. It says Southern District. I'm handing you something to refresh your recollection. Take a look, as long as you want to. So he's looking at it. You can tell a liar when you see some. Like, they be like, can you read this, sir? Yeah, read what's in front of you. They be. They've lost vision. They lost They've lost the motivation to read. They like, take as much time as you need. This fool was sitting up there taking his time like, this is weird. Right there, you know he's lying. But, oh wow, they tried to knock me off the live stream. You see that? Hit the like button, y'all. They tried to knock your boy off the live stream. Hey, they came in guns a-blazing, didn't they? Hit the like button, y'all. They came in here with a sabotage Johnny. Wow. Yep, gotta hit that like button, man. So they said, what about Kenny Burns? He's like, I remember. He said, were you effective? Right. I worked hard. They said, I don't know how you'll answer if it was good or bad, complicated. He didn't need you, or he didn't need to yell at you when you brought. I worked hard. Okay, who was Biggie? A huge rapper who unfortunately passed away. Wasn't Biggie's birthday a holiday at Combs Enterprises? Yes. Was it a collective, creative environment? Absolutely. It attracted all kind of creative people, lawyers, musicians, advertising people. A few specific questions. You used a corporate credit card, yes? Yes. How did Mr. Combs pay? KK held his wallet with a black Amex in it. You have no reason to think he kept track of how baby oil was paid for. Did you, Mr. Kaplan? No reason. Or applesauce, right? He loves applesauce. Right, on cheeseburgers? On everything. Let's talk about the plane. You heard glass breaking. You didn't see it? I didn't see it. The incident with Gina, you walk into a house, there's a thin table. I don't know. You don't remember how a person could get out of the gate at Two-Star Island? No. I just heard screaming and commotion. Screams of terror or of how can I get this gate open? I don't know. It's how to distinguish between the two. He threatens your jobs, but did he physically threaten you? No. You talked about Kim Porter. Mm-hmm. How was she different? Sorry, this allergies, the weather is really messing with me. They was like, so how is Kim different? You talked about Kim Porter now. How was Kim Porter different? His respect for her. They had incredible kids. Thank you. When you set up the hotel room for Mr. Combs and Miss Porter, there was no baby oil, right? Lotions. You expressed caution about hotels. Why you cleaned the rooms afterwards? Hotel staff and cell phones everywhere. Everyone wants a payday. You sent him a photo of him. You sent him a photo. Yeah, Sean always call around this time sometimes. Said you sent him a photo of Kim Porter after she died. I was heartbroken for him. Were you close? I invited him to my wedding. I didn't hear back. Objection. You respected him. Yes. What's this photo of? Me, KK, and Mr. Combs at Teterboro Airport. He just got the jet. That's why there's champagne. You were happier, right? No. Refresh it. It's that I was glad I had found the mascara in the back seat. They found you and subpoenaed you, right? I had to retain counsel right away. No further question. So they said, let's redirect. They said, which incident shook you the most? The playing with Cassie and the apples with Gina. They, I felt guilty I didn't do anything after the incident with Cassie on the plane. But you didn't see any injuries. People can be injured without injuries being visible. The tonality and the tension with the apples he threw at Gina, it was troubling. The government again, you told Ms. Corum about both incidents. Yes. And I told her I am unwilling to stand behind the behavior, that I was quitting. Did Christina say she would quit? No. How long did she stay after you told her? Until recently. They bring the next witness in. They said, no further questions. Kaplan's off the stand. So now they bring in Kid Cudi. Scott McCuddy. So Kid Cudi takes the stand. He comes in smoking a cigarette. I didn't even know you could smoke. He got on a leather jacket, blue jeans. He comes, sits down. They said, what do you do for work? I'm an actor and musician known as Kid Cudi. Who is this? Cassie. We dated in 2011. Who else was she involved with? Sean Combs. What did you know about their status? That she and Sean Combs had some personal problems and they weren't dating anymore. In December of 2011, did law enforcement respond to your home? He was, yes, I had a break-in. He said, why? She was worried. What was her demeanor? Very stressed and worried. Where did you go? The Sunset Marquise. Why? I thought it was safe and off the radar. Who else did you speak with? Capricorn Clark. She sounded near tears. What did she say? That Sean Combs is in the car, in the car near my house. Brian Street, he said, and Brian Steele. They was like, objection. Overruled. They said, you called Sean Combs, right? I did. He said, over here. What did the outside look like? Pretty normal. Any security cameras? Yes, but I found out they weren't really working. But the security cameras had been moved. Did you move them? No. What did you see inside your home? Gifts were open, some stuff I got from Chanel, and my dog was locked up in the bathroom. How did you usually leave your dog? I let him roam. How long had you had your dog? 3 years. What changes were behaviors for your dog after a break-in? Jittery, on edge all the time. So now they try to throw in the guilt for the dog. What changes were behaviors for your dog? So now, in case you're a dog person, oh my God, that no good Diddy locked that poor dog in the bathroom for hours. See what they doing? Prosecution, boy. Shock and awe. Oldest trick in the book. So now the dog was jittery and on edge all the time because it got locked in the bathroom one time. So he's like, I got back in and called Sean Combs again. I was looking for him. I wanted to fight him, you know. Did he answer? Yeah, he said, I'm on my way. I thought to myself, still, objection. What grounds? Non-responsive. The judge is like, overruled. This thing getting good. Judge eating the popcorn like, no, go ahead, cut it, keep going. Diddy's on his way. You waiting on him. You finna get the fight you want. The judge is like, all right, come on now, ask a new question. So they said, when you saw Cassie, how did she seem? Depressed. Did you see Cassie in Connecticut? Yes. She needed it. Did Mr. Combs call you? Yes. The government they almost orgasm on this. They almost burst. Soon as he said, man, he hit me a few times. That's all they wanted to hear. They was hit. No, called me a few times. He's like, what did you say? That I didn't want to talk with him. He broke into my house, hurt my dog. Did you and Miss Ventura break up? Yes. What about your car? My dog babysitter called me and told me my car was on fire. Where were you? At a relative's of my ex-girlfriend's. Where did you go? To my house, 8925 Hollywood Hills Road. Let me show you 6 pictures. Do you recognize them? That's my Porsche. That's the damage to the Porsche from the Molotov cocktail. Who took these pictures? Chip, a good friend and collaborator. What's duplicit here? The hole they cut in the roof of my car to put the Molotov cocktail in there. What was your reaction to the car being set on fire? What the F? Objection. Overruled. Judge is like, let's take a break. Judge is out there, man, I gotta get some more popcorn. This is good. So the prosecution is trying to establish sympathy. Now, this goes along with what they try to get to the RICO of actually, I'm trying to think of the right word to put with this. Arson. Arson is all they need. So the arson it's a far stretch for the RICO, but they're going for the arson angle, right? We got them with arson. We can get them with the arson, but hey, let's get back to it. They say, will you finish? Judge is asking the government, will you finish the witnesses of today? They say, yes. Through the cross of Mr. Kaplan, there was 3 times longer than we thought. They said, all right, the jury comes back in. And they're asking them, what's the damage on the car? Please hit the like button if you just got in here. We're going over the transcripts of the Sean Diddy Combs trial for the 9th day. Inner City Press, thank you for all of the work that you do, and the credit goes to you for all of it, for giving us the details of what's going in there on, because the news are not doing their damn job at all. They're just running narratives. So once they come back in and from the dog sitter, they was like, was there any damage to your car? He was like, no. He's like, accidental or intentional? He said, intentional. Where did you last see Miss? At the Soho House. I reached out to Sean Combs and said, let's talk. This is getting out of hand. Brian Steele said, can we have a sidebar, please? So the judge said, "Do you have an objection?" He says, "Yes." The judge says, "Sustained." Okay. Disregard what he just said about this is meeting up at this and this is getting out of hand and they meeting up at the Soho House. This just disregard all that. They said, "Okay, who set up the meeting at the Soho House?" D-Rock and my manager. What was Mr. Combs doing? Standing there like a Marvel supervillain. Everybody starts laughing. He said, "We were homies. You know this my girl." "What did you say?" "I thought you had broken up." Then Sean Combs offered me water twice. It was weird. Sean Combs being so calm. What did Cassie say? That we had fallen in love. Things happened. What did you say to Mr. Combs? What about my car? He said, "I don't know what you're talking about." I walked away. Did you see Sean Combs later? A few years later at the Soho House, he said, "I'm just sorry for all that BS. I was surprised, so I found peace with it." No further questions at the time, Your Honor. And the judge said, "Mrs. Brian Steele, do you want to cross?" Brian Steele's like, "I got this." Brian Steele gets up there and says, "I want to ask you some questions about your Porsche in 2022. He was like, "Oh, it's 2012. I apologize. 2012. You get a call about the damage to your vehicle and surveillance photos, right?" "No, my dog's babysitter did send me some pictures of the damage." "Okay, the DNA taken. Are you aware it came back being a female?" "Objection. No foundation. Sustain." So now the DNA evidence came back to be a female. Okay. Steve said, "Okay, well, do you know that there were DNA results?" The judge said, "I will allow that." He says, "No." Steele said, "Mrs. Ventura told you it was over, right?" "We just stopped talking." "You told this honorable court and jury that she played you." "Yes." "She played you and you had no clue." "No clue." In 2011, you went on a tour, yes? Yep. 65 locations. Yep. At that time, Sean Combs is an icon, fair to say? Yes. You and Mrs. Ventura had a sexual relationship, right? Objection! They want to come up there and talk. He can't say that. He can't talk about their sexual relationship. So they come in after the sidebar and they was like, "Mr. Steele, can I?" He's like, the judge was like, "No, you can do that on redirect." So they come in after the sidebar. And he said, "Do you want to tell me something?" He said, "Sean Combs asked me about doing a song with Mrs. Ventura in 2010. He said, "Thank you." So he said, "Do you believe they left your front door unlocked?" He said, "Yes." "No forced entry?" "No. Just presence open, door in a bathroom. And I'm not belittling it, just asking. You called Sean Combs?" "Yes." "He was calm?" "Yes." "You went to see him. You didn't think he had a gun, did you?" "I couldn't call it." "You're a strong person. That's how you categorize yourself." "Yes." "This crossed the line." "Miss Ventura told you she was abused, right?" "Yes." "But she never said she was SA'd, right?" "She did not." "You loved her, right?" "Tell me I'm wrong." I did. You got played by the same person who played Mr. Combs, Cassie Ventura. Boom! Boom! Oh, this is getting good. This is getting good. You got played by the same person that played Mr. Combs. The defense is Brian Steele is laying it on thick with Kid Cudi. He's showing the whole jury this girl's playing games. She's running games, so there is no coercion. There ain't nobody forcing Cassie to do nothing. Cassie does what she wants to do. She wanted to date this man. Diddy didn't tell her to go date him. So how is Diddy controlling her if she's able to go and do all this stuff and play these games? So she's not the person you think she is. See, the defense is smart, and you're not going to hear about this on the news. That's why you come here to get the truth. The defense is laying down the bread work perfect because Kid Cudi is sitting there explaining it, and all the time they left his door unlocked. Whoever broke in there, it got female DNA in the house was found. But yet he calls Diddy. Now they said in the 13 years since, have you ever been notified in California that there's been any more action on this car fire? They said no. Did Mrs. Ventura have multiple phones? I don't remember. They said 35 through 12. If I said it, I said it. He's like, I don't remember me saying it. He said 35 to 12. He said, do you remember, or do you know what kind of burner phone it was? Untraceable. The trespass, you call it a break-in. Miss Ventura told you she given your home address to Mr. Combs? Yes, in the morning. No more questions, Your Honor. Thanks. No problem. They was like, redirect. They was like, what did Miss Ventura confide in you about the abuse? That he would hit her and sometimes kick her? So convenient. The day of the break-in, was she carefree? No. What did Capricorn Clark tell you? Sean Combs was an affiliate who forced her into a car to come to my house. I called the police. How would you describe Cassie that day? Just really shook. Him finding out about us. Why did your relationship with Miss Ventura end? The drama. It was getting out of hand. I wanted to give space. What drama? The break-in for my safety, her safety. There was objection. They was like, what grounds? Speculation. They was like, overruled. Judge is like, let him cook. They was like, why did you have safety concerns? Because I knew Sean Combs was violent. Your Honor, can we approach the bench, please? They go to the bench, so they come back, so the government got to they got to redo the question. They was like, okay, after the meeting at the Soho House, Mr. Combs said, I don't know what you're talking about your car. Did you believe him? Objection. He was like, rephrase the question. The judge is like, come on, we just had a meeting at my desk. He's like, what was your understanding of the conversation with Mr. Combs? That he was lying. No further questions. They was like, y'all got any read cross? They was like, no, Your Honor, we done with Kid Cudi. You can get him out of here. So he was like, all right. Kid Cudi's happy. He's been cut loose. He can go out there and smoke up some more cigarette. So they come back. They have a talk for however long it is. But what they just experienced there is that here, Kid Cudi, everybody's like his damaging testimony. What did he damage? He damaged their case. The prosecution. Because see, they didn't realize a lot of stuff until it just happened. So the only person that would corroborate this whole thing is Capricorn Clark, who if they find her and get her to testify and tell her side of the story, she don't like Diddy either. She was one of the first people I thought would be up on the stand. But her thoughts, because him saying her name, he wouldn't have probably name dropped her unless they were gonna bring her up on the stand to corroborate the story, saying that Sean Diddy Combs made me drive over there. Because other than that, they have no proof. It's all hearsay. And this is why it's a very thin line with this evidence, what y'all calling evidence. Testimony is evidence. I've talked with lawyers. Testimony is evidence if it could be validated. Then it becomes evidence. Other than that, it's hearsay. Okay? It's hearsay. So it's not real evidence. That's like me saying I saw Jay-Z sleep with a bum last week. They'd be like, well, what evidence do you have that here's a bum right here? The bum said, yeah, Jay-Z, yeah, I know him. Slept right here, slept with me. So you can say that all you want. If you don't have anything, it's hearsay. That's all it is. So all of this right here, even though he's got photos that something happened to his car, he said he called the police, DNA came in there, it doesn't have anything that connects to Sean Combs. That's what he has to prove, that it connects to Sean Combs. Somebody else could break in the house and everything else. If I don't have anything, I could say it was him. I had a problem with him, and then this happens. I can't... There's no proof, no evidence or nothing. You brought it up to him. He said, I don't know what you're talking about. And that's that. So you're not going to get anywhere with that. So all of that testimony can be viewed as hearsay, especially if they don't get Capricorn Clark, who's working for Diddy, working for Sean John, and all that. If she said I was the one to come over there, or he had me come over to the house or drive him there, then it's a whole new story. Now, they had female DNA. Now, if Capricorn Clark said she broke up in there now, and then she said I was forced to by Diddy, he forced me to break into a house, I'd be like, how would you have it? You just committed a crime. And now you want to be forgiven for the crime and get immunity for breaking into houses? Why would he grab you to break into a house? Then you got to prove all of this. So, once again, the attorney Comey comes back in, right? And Comey goes, they want to put you in exhibits showing, Cassie and her like some outfits. And it's like, and this is where it got weird for me with the defense. The defense should have never tried to put this. It's a picture of her dressed up in like a freak out outfit. They want to. It's like they trying to put this into evidence and exhibits, and showing Mrs. Ventura in a scantily clad, and we think it plays into the stereotype that if she dresses like this, she must have consented to the freak offs. So the judge says, I only have the album cover. And then Diddy people said, we could bring it up on the screen. But they was like, do not do it for the public gallery now. We have withdrawn some of the exhibits. It's rather about her career opportunities and the like. But the defense know what they're doing. They took a swing of trying to basically show people like the Cassie you saw up here pregnant and dressed up like that ain't who she was then. The Cassie you talking to now ain't the Cassie she was in 2013, 14, all this was going down. So they say, what's the relevancy of these exhibits? The next witness did Miss Ventura's makeup, but what's the purpose of these pictures? It's a 402 issue. First relevance. And they said, well, Miss Ventura testified about her career being impacted. And they said, I'll stipulate. They said this is one of the public events. They said this one is a public event. So what's the problem? And the government says it's a low-cut dress. The judge said, I'm allowing it in, but not 652 and 745. Bring in the witness. So they allowed one picture of Cassie to come in there. So the defense won over the government. They don't want any picture of Cassie looking like Cassie. So they bring in the new witness. Exactly. Their argument has been around domestic, and they keep keeping things around a domestic thing and trying to merge that into a RICO. You can't get RICO. This is why RICO charged with one human being is, and this is why they're going to have to relook at this RICO charge, because I don't see racketeering. There is no RICO here. There's nothing here. Talked with a lawyer, damn good lawyer, who done RICO, worked on a RICO case with actual conspiracy for with a mob, actually Italians. So it was an Italian RICO, a racketeering case with an Italian business, and they had a whole lot of companies, shell companies, everything in there. So he worked on that case. So they have to really go in there. And that's the one thing about RICO that he says, where's the profit? When it's an enterprise, okay, what is the enterprise? It says for profit. What was the profit they got from Cassie? Like, what was Diddy's property? What did Combs Enterprise get as a profit for racketeering? Where's the profit? There's no profit. So how could this be a RICO? It's it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. But this is why we're here. They said, what? They bring in the new witness, right? And they said, what's your name? They said, Malaya Morales. I'm a celebrity makeup artist. So they said, okay, celebrity makeup artist. I see you. So the celebrity makeup artist comes in. They said, do you recognize anyone you worked for? They was like Sean Combs in the gray sweater and the white collar. He's like, did you work for Mr. Combs from 2000 to 2005? Then who? Rihanna. Who else? Jennifer Lopez, Cassie. When did you work for Cassie? 2007 into COVID. She was like a little sister to me. How much older than her are you? A few years. Did you see her with injuries to her face? 2010 Grammy weekend, Prince's party. Were you with her? Beverly Hills. I fell asleep in the room and woke up to a commotion. Cassie walked in, then Sean, asking where the F is she? What did she do? Walked in the bedroom, shut the door. What did you hear behind the door? Yelling and screaming, both of them. Then Sean left. What did you see next? Cassie had a swollen eye and knots on her head. I packed her things up. We went to my house. Then what happened? My doctor friend came and examined her to see if she had a concussion. What were you afraid of? Sean, I feared for my life. Objection. Move to strike. Overruled. How long did he stay? Days. She stayed for days. Have you done interviews about this? A couple. Were you paid? No. Did you provide evidence? Photos of me, Kim Porter in the early 2000s. Were you paid? $1,000. No further questions. Cross-examiner comes up and said, okay. Man, she was like, did you assist Miss Ventura to any red carpet events? Possibility. It was possible. And some music videos, black and yellow. We have photos. Okay. The goal was that she looked put together, right? Yes. These photos show your artistry, right? Your artistry, in other words. You reposted them on Instagram, right? Yes. You were in the hotel room, though you lived near her, right? Yes. Okay. You met Cassie Ventura's family, right? Her father. You called a doctor and a lawyer, right? The lawyer lives in San Francisco. You provided emotional support. Yes. You did an interview with CNN and Extra TV with Don Lemon and Piers Morgan, right? Yes. Did Dateline reach out to you? I don't look at those anymore. Did you ask the government if you could do more? Look at this. So you asked permission to speak to Dateline. Of course I asked. After the incident, neither Mr. Combs or anybody from his company ever approached you? No one did. For a documentary, were you paid? Therapy. You sold the photos to CNN for $1,000. Yes. No further questions, Your Honor. Oh my gosh. They was like, next witness. So nobody wanted to cross-examine her or nothing. They wanted to make sure that this woman is doing this for money. She's doing it for exposure, to get her name and stay popular. So these people can't be trusted because their motivation is greed. You see? This is so blatantly obvious when you cross and you get both sides of the story. So now they bringing in the general manager of the hotel, the Le Hermitage Hotel in LA. They was like, where do you live, Frederick? I receive a subpoena. This is why I am here. Are you familiar with the hotel's reservation systems? We have a system called Opera. We enter with personal preference. How long do you keep them? They stay forever. How reserve this room for Sean Combs? Ryan Lopez. Always other names were used. When he was there and the profile first was created, when was that happening? 2006. It said Sean Combs and Bad Boy Records. Then they changed to Jackie Star. Let's look at 2011, 2012. And they were like, what's this bill? Over $2,000. It says only charge if Christina Quorum approves. What were the instructions? Put the room out of service for cleaning. Like the room is too hot. Set it for 75 degrees. What were their complaints? Candle wax on the carpet. Security card. Charge $500. No further question. Cross-examination, the defense is none. We don't care. We don't know what this guy's even here for. Next witness. So we don't even know what this guy was even there for. It's like, okay, it's a hotel. Okay, what is the point? What is the point of this witness? We have no idea. So he's just came and went. The French guy's gone. Now we got Special Agent Josh Crawford. They're like, so where do you work? HSI, Homeland Security Investigations. I extract data from computers. How is your training? Like, what is your training? The SANS Institute? What does that stand for? Sounds very interesting. I don't really know. There are a couple of things in that way that it could stand for, a couple of analogies. What tools do you use? TX1 in the digital collector? Whose lab tech did you extract? Cassie Ventura's. This was a MacBook Pro, roughly from 2010 to 2011 with a white case. Did you boot it up? I got the MacBook factory default screen, but it's got data. Yes. The hard drive's not overwritten by a factory reset. What is the unallocated space? Something not viewable, something previously deleted. Explain how computers store the data. You have a table of contents. A file can be stored in an unallocated space. So these 3 laptops, how they've been backed up. iTunes was used before iCloud. Some use a little funky. But can you validate the funky, as you say, data by going to raw data? Yes. Nothing further. So the defense comes in for cross. They said on one of the laptops, there was a Frank Black profile, right? Agent says, yes. Did you process every file? Yes, I did. Have a wonderful weekend. Oh, that's so funny. Dog, that's the funniest thing I heard. He said on one of the defense said on one of the laptops, is there a Frank Black profile? Yes. Did you process every file? Yes. Have a wonderful weekend. So they come in to oh my God. So they come in for the government comes back, man. It said, Frank Black, did you proceed under Mrs. Ventura's consent? Under a warrant. No more witnesses, jurors. I intend to release you early. Any objections to being released early? Everybody just started laughing. They was like, don't read anything about the case. Go for a walk. Watch the Knicks avenge their game 1 loss. More laughter. And you must tattle. We're making a great process here. All rise. We're making great process here. Everybody rise. So that's, you can tell the government has nothing. The last 2 people they brought in, like, what was the point of this guy being on the stand? Okay, he processed the files on the computer, right? Did you process them all yourself? Yeah. Have a nice weekend. Yeah. Like, why? Like, what are we bringing these people on here for? You're wasting the people's time. Hit the like button, good people. So the only witness of anything in this trial so far today was Kid Cudi and his accounts on what happened in the situation. So everybody high-fiving, thinking, yeah, Diddy's done. He's really cooked. You're not in the courtroom. And that's why if he gets off, people, their mouth gonna be like this. But that video, how? Oh my God, he pulled her down. This is why you have courtrooms and court cases. Exactly for these moments right here. Now, I must say thank you, because they really have brought a lot of things to light. Have me contacting lawyers, and the lawyers was like, "You right on, like you own the money," because he said you're right. It's not as cut and dried as they're trying to make it. You have to prove force. You have to prove without evidence of force. Keep showing people domestic enough till they get sick with it, till they just despise Sean Combs enough that they don't even want to hear anything else about the trial. That's what they're trying to, they're banking on the exhaustion and exhausting the jurors. They're going to try to conclude this thing in June. But you're going to be looking at the 4th of July, all of that going by. People are going to want to get to their families, knowing everybody finna talk about the case. See, before the internet, they used to keep them in a hotel. No television, you can't watch the news. And it's like, dude, they're gonna know about the case anyway. And when they didn't want to put the Furman tapes in the OJ trial, just certain targeted lines, Johnny Cochran mobilized the press. Then the press had the leaked audio. And all they had to hear was Mark Furman and his ridiculous takes. Once they heard that, it was on to the next. Society played a foul trick. Society played a foul trick on people. Because the more they think someone else is paying attention to the situation, the worser it becomes. And some people can just be sick and tired or exhausted by a situation because they disgustingly don't like the person. They convict them no matter what the evidence says. They just don't like him. So they say, oh, he's guilty. But if we go into this, everything, a lot of this evidence should have been thrown out and clarified as hearsay. I'm just glad they finally start getting to the charges, because if I keep hearing about domestic violence, and it's like you brought a hotel guy here to back up saying sometimes he has different names when he checks in. Okay, so you want to say Frank Black is him. Cassie Computer has a Frank Black profile. Okay. What are you proving? You're stating things but not proving them. They said the same thing in the other case. That's why I never tripped or complained, because once you see it happen in one case, in one situation, they're going to take the same approach. Because, see, they don't have to prove anything. All they have to do is defend his innocence. The government has to prove. They're the ones that's got to prove something. They got to prove that all these ridiculous charges that they made, they can back it up. And they're having a hard time getting there. Especially the racketeering, which is the biggest charge of all of them. They're struggling to get that done. And Kid Cudi with the arson is their biggest connecting piece to the RICO. But it's not about what you know, it's about what you can prove. Remember? Lonzo, training day. But if you team Diddy, it's about what you can disprove. And the more you disprove their so-called information, the better it is for justice and innocence in this trial. The defense has illustrated that Cassie Ventura, one, has been earning money since she left Diddy on her own. She was not with Diddy, and she was working and doing jobs and doing stuff on her own. So she was strong enough to do all that on her own, paying her own bills, everything. She wasn't with Diddy anymore. She was still going out there doing jobs. So, once again, you're going to have to prove force. And this is a man who likes control and power, right? Watch this girl gone, and there's no repercussions. The R word, right? She said he broke in and just took it from her and R-worded her and all this. Then she consensually went to go sleep with him while she was with the guy she's married to now. He was trying to FaceTime her. She was getting her back blown out by Diddy. So if this man came in your house and R-worded you, who goes back to sleep with their attacker? Where they do that at? So the government's depiction of Cassie, they tried to strike a photo that was on Instagram. And the judge is like, wait a minute, this is already public. What are you fighting this for? This is public. But she's got on a short skirt, Your Honor. He's like, I'll allow this one, but these two I'm not allowing. They will pull any move in the world that they can to try to get a verdict or anything to go in their direction. Can y'all hear me clearly? Is the audio working? Okay, cool. Here we go. Oh, this is the rush hour traffic. Okay. if I known he was gonna do that, I would have cut him off. There are so many different avenues and lanes that people could take to get to where they want to go to land their plane. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is entitled to their own opinions. They're entitled to their own, their own thoughts, what have you, right? A person can tell you one day that they love you and the next day that they hate you. There's no guarantee in that whatsoever. Like, so if you got a girl, right, y'all laying in bed and you roll over and like, come on, babe, let's do something. No, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Not tonight. Let's do it tomorrow. Come on, babe. Yeah, you said you was going to do it tonight. Let's do it. Come on. I'll be quick. I'll be fast. No, I don't want to do it. Come on. Come on now. All right, you going to be like that. Man, how you going to get me all started? Man, I've been ready for tonight. All right, but just be quick. So, now, is that forced? She didn't want to do it, but she did it to make you happy. You forced her to do it. She said no. And then you put pressure on her and forced her. So is that coercion? No, that's not coercion. Because she gave consent. But see, that's the game that they're playing now. Cassie has slept with countless people. Look at all them workers she went through. She gotta have it. Kid Cudi said she needed it. Do things for sympathy, to call some attention, because the person she really loved was Diddy. That's why he said, she played me. Said, you told this courtroom she played you. So Kid Cudi said he loved her and she played him. She was using you to get Diddy mad, because she want Diddy to see somebody out there ready to paint her canvas, to get Diddy frustrated. She did the same thing with Drake. Got Drake all beat up at the party. Got paws put on Drake. Right? Drake got them paws put on him. Then what happened? She was flirting with Chris Brown. It's always Cassie. The common denominator is Cassie do something to get Diddy to react. You know, I never noticed anybody take these type of steps. It's like so dumb. This is a girl who wants to be number one. She's already told you she was upset that he had other girls. She thought she should be the number one girl. So to prove she's the number one girl, she's gonna go and act out. And why is she acting out? So that somebody else can come around and employ her. She'll go flirt and sleep with another guy and be with them and mess around with them on the side if Diddy found out. So if she was in such fear of Sean Diddy Combs, why would she even go out and start cheating on him in the first place? Why would she get a relationship with Kid Cudi? Why would she go start going shopping and doing stuff with Drake over in Canada? Why is she doing all this if she's so afraid? She would get her things and go back to Diddy. So if this is about Diddy control, how many times is she going to keep doing this? And keep coming back? She keeps coming back because she loves Diddy. That's who she wants to be with. Hell, on the stand, you can tell she still love him now. If I'm the husband and I see my wife go on the stand and say the stuff she was saying, I'll be like, look, we through. Diddy is that guy that can always come by and get it. He can always come back and hit it anytime he wants. She just got a weakness for Diddy. Absolutely. It's a weakness. When you have a weakness or a penance for weakness, all of these things start to come to the top. She had a weakness for him, and because she had a weakness for him, everybody around there knew what time it was. They knew what Cassie was going to do. It was 100% on the money. This ain't even about defending Diddy. This ain't got nothing to do with defending him. You don't understand. You're fighting for your rights as a black man. You on trial too. If you're a black man, you on trial right now. Because if they can use a RICO Act for one man and convict him, they can come get your black ass anytime they want now. They could be like, well, they did it to Diddy. And this new presidents and all this BS that they doing for him, they could legally say we can try that now. Now we could try one person with RICO now. So you on trial too. Because if they able to pull this BS off, and it's the only way, the best way they get to do it is to turn black folks against their own. We'll be the main one marching for Diddy to go to jail for life. Yeah, lock him up, man. He dragged Cassie to the floor, man. Not charges or nothing. Right now. They need to be locked up forever, man. He dragged Cassie to the floor. And this coming from people that didn't put hands on people. You got Ray J sitting there talking about, man, I'm saying, man, you know, you can't be putting your hands on nobody, man. It's like, are you serious? Many hands that you didn't put on somebody? That's what I always tell people. It's okay to just shut up sometimes. Because you don't know every goddamn thing. Just shut up. That's all you got to do. Everything will fall in place if you shut up. They were upset over the fact that one, Kid Cudi he doesn't even know anything about the case, the break-in. They was like, are you aware that they took DNA from the break-in in your house? And it was female DNA? He said no. So he's unaware that he cared so much about the break-in, he called the police. They did the investigation. They got the DNA evidence from the break-in, found out it was a female on the DNA, and he wasn't even interested. It ain't about if you know Diddy did that. You know Diddy dropped that cocktail in there. Diddy had them do it. I'm like, I don't know a goddamn thing, to be honest. I mean, it's just, what a coincidence, you know? A coincidence. He said, man, your cock could get blown up. And look, it happened. You see? Talked it into existence. But, like I said, we could all sit here and say we know it, but where's the proof? He didn't even say Diddy did it. He just saying I knew he was lying. How? Based off what? It's speculation. This is nothing but a hearsay case. So many times, man, I hear these things, man. They say, look at here, man. I want to just go to the top, to the moon. Can we do that? Can we just go to the moon? Go to the next stratosphere? I want to do that. Other people go, yeah, I would, but I kind of want to take this approach. And then somebody else will come in and say, you know what? Instead of going that way, let's go the legal route. What about her mom's, man, saying about that 20 grand when he threatened to show pictures or videos of Cassie in the nude? My thing is, Cassie defied her own mother and father when she went. They said, come on home, leave that man. Right? She went back over there anyway. But she kept leaving y'all to go back to the lifestyle because she don't want to be in New London, Connecticut. She want to be in Santa Barbara. She want to fly on private yachts. She don't care if she taking a lump or two on the head. She doesn't care. Now, they've also admitted that she's had temper problems. Cassie herself has confirmed that she had temper problems growing up. Her parents know it. It was all documented. She has a temper. So Cassie, with a temper, you think she's not gonna invoke Diddy into a fight? The lady that was the makeup artist who took her to the house, well, the makeup artist just confirmed that Cassie's strength is there because Cassie went in the room and was yelling back at Sean Diddy Combs. Now, this makeup artist who keeps going on these shows, who's accepted money in the past to talk about Cassie and Diddy, Cassie and Diddy, Cassie and Diddy, that's like putting me on the stand. You know, it's like, oh, no, ain't nobody, you think they gonna call me to the stand? Hell no, they gonna want to see me on no damn stand. Maybe tell us about Diddy. I'll be, that's my motherfucker right there. Let's get it. Take this from it. Take this. Hey, ain't no way you gonna take this from me. Let's get it. Well, here's the thing. More hearsay from the makeup artist. Because, okay, she didn't see anything. The door's closed. She hear arguing, and then she sees Cassie with a black eye or swollen eye or whatever. It's hearsay. Who can back up your story other than Cassie? You called a lawyer for Cassie. Cassie went and stayed at your house after they had a fight. And you saw all these bruises, but you never saw Sean Diddy Combs put his hand on her. That just, you know, so what are you here for? How do you corroborate anything? It's just like people that's going to the trial, right? Like you saw Queens flip down to the trial. Yeah, we at the trial. They just going there to get some publicity for themselves. I just did something real stupid. Yeah. I keep getting it mixed up. I'm not going to the other place. I'm so used to going in that direction. I'm supposed to just keep straight. As I said, I just did something stupid. I'm going off like 2.5 hours of sleep. I kid you not. I wish it was more. Did I have my watch on me when I went to sleep? Let me see. No, I did not. Yeah, so much time had passed, man. You know, it was just a whole different environment. Like when you go into a whole different environment, people don't see you for who you are now. They're thinking of the image. They be like, Diddy ain't beat nobody in 4 years. And everybody keep talking about Diddy is done, he's cooked. He, like one idiot had in the title, Diddy's guilty. I'm like, really? They gotta really cut back on this clickbait. Hey, Diddy was found guilty. Absolutely not. See, Kid Cudi is telling his story to the best of his knowledge, right? But he also admitted that he was in love with Cassie and Cassie played him. So if Cassie played him, that means she's in control of what she's doing. She's not the damsel in distress. So no, he did not help the prosecution. He hurt them tremendously because he verified and stamped the defense's argument that Cassie acted on her own. No one was controlling her. So he just really stamped that and solidified it. He said, you and Sean Combs both got played by Cassie. Boom. That's it right there. And he was like, yeah. Once he said that, it's over. It was over. They both got played by Cassie. Once Ben Steele said that, the lawyer Brian Steele for Diddy's team, the defense, said that line, y'all both got played by Cassie. Just let the world know Cassie is not who you think. Well, they plan is to exhaust the audience. Keep the audience tired. I mean, the jury tired. They're gonna be tired of going in the courtroom. They neck hurt. They're like, oh, I'm tired of this. I want to go home. Just want to get away from this trial. How long before we convict this guy? So that's what they're thinking about when they're in that room. If Diddy get off, they're gonna say, "Hey, he bought the jury. He got money. He could buy anything in the world." If he found guilty, they're gonna file an appeal, and all of this stuff will be knocked out. Yeah, I'm going into a wooded area, so reception might be a little bad. But I just wanted to point out some things. So that was it. Kwame Brown Bus Life. Don't forget to follow his channel. My name is Carcino. You know that. My Patreon is Carcino for Life. Definitely check that out. I didn't put that information out yesterday because of the Pacers game. But yes, I have some groundbreaking information about Diddy and why he's in this situation that he's in right now. There's a quiet billionaire who's behind the scenes, a racist man, in my opinion, is also involved in this, has played a major part. Yes, thank you, sir. That means drive. Appreciate your commitment. Welcome to HDII TV. Shouts out to HD holding it down, doing this thing. 78 Sports TV, a real one. A real one. Straight out of Milwaukee. Potawatomi, baby. We get seen. There are plenty of people on the docket that don't understand what's happening with the circumference of the media aspects of the world, the promotion, the marketing, and how people are divisive and they're not doing the things that they used to do. And the whole world is like turning on its own axis. And people are just creating new garbage. Well, you know, it's good to last you for 10 minutes, then you're on to the next. Uh-oh. Here comes a Caitlin Clark down the street. Let me get away. You don't want no Caitlin Clark popping up on you. There she goes. Caitlin Clarks. That's why I try to tell people. When you got Caitlin Clarks walking around out here, it's not safe. Yeah, Outlaw, I did a video on the Knicks earlier today. I broke everything down for the Knicks fans to understand that they're now the laughing stock of the entire NBA. And I love it. And I want to also tell you about Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson, you know, I checked on that immediately today when I got up. Not only that, Jalen Brunson's wife, we know her too. She's friends with my other cousin, female cousin. I don't know if they went to the wedding, but they're friends, like really good friends. He married the girl from high school. I thought he probably broke up with that girl, but yes, my cousin does recall the game we won against them. You know, I think Brunson played on the football team. I think he said he played football and basketball, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, that's the kid that played. And I used to give him credit because I was like, he the only one that could shoot in the AAU tournament. None of these, all these guys was and one guys. He was not like, he could drive to the hole and penetrate, but I was like, get up on him because he's a lefty. Those lefties can shoot. I was like, lefties, they got a shot. Stay on them. And my boy, he shoot with his left. Even though he's right-handed, he shoot with his left. So, yeah, it was very weird that person is Jalen Brunson. I know because of the potato head, but I'm thinking now, when I see him, I think of those braids. So I got to remember a kid without braids with the same goddamn potato head. Yeah, I'm gonna ask her. I don't really like. We talk. I mean, it ain't like we got beef. It's just that I don't really talk to my female cousin like that. I'll tell her brother to call me, but I'll be calling her. Hey, you remember Jalen Brunson? Heard your best friend's with his wife. I need to talk to her. Hold her for collateral till this Pacer series over. I'm just kidding. That is kidnapping. Hold up for collateral till this Nick series is over. That's right, boy. My boy flipping out on his PO because he can't travel. Going off on you like good in your narrow. Mess with me, Jalen Brunson, I take your wife for collateral. Gun wave, hello. Let go my echo. You wanna save money, switch to Gecko. You know from the get-go, I ain't about to let nobody play with my green and they stomach belly yellow. Man, them polka dots on you everywhere, man. Hold on. Hold on. You ain't about to get hell no, boy. I'm on the end. Oh, better check the death toll. Me and Red tagging toes. Pounds in a bag of clothes. That's right, baby. My lawyer sitting on the couch while we bagging up a quarter ounce. He said it's good, man. I swear I won't open my mouth. I put my work on a triple B scale. All plushed out cold, cracked under the fingernail. My lawyer been playing with that powder and I can tell. You know that crack smell, and he looking all frail. I just got the email. It's great. These niggas still pushing up daisies. Man, get out and do something while you dope. Nigga, hang yourself if you give him enough rope. I get it fresh off the boat. No, I might have been a little harsh on Jalen Brunson. Because I remember everything now. It came back like a flood. It came back like a flood. I remember the red jersey he wore, the little fade. He was about 5'8" then. I was taller than him. I'm 5'11". So I was bigger than him. And I'm just like, man, dude, that came back like a flood. Because they had time. Like, their game was over, whatever, so they was finished. Because an AAU team, some teams just don't show up. Yeah, I know. The coach couldn't get them together or whatever. So, they forfeit the game. So, they were just sitting around. We just started playing, like, hey, all right, let's play. You want to go 3-on-3? Cool, let's go. 3-on-3. We just playing on the side on one of the rims while the other tournaments is going on. Rick think he tough. But I never had a conversation with the man, but the way he carry himself, he think he tough. I can tell right away. I had to break the daddy down immediately. Yeah, I'm watching Mission Impossible. But I still got to do my Hurry Up Tomorrow review. I saw that movie. That's a crazy ass movie. Right. They were like, today, man. Today. I put my work on the triple B scale. Your homie be playing with that powder, and I could tell. So who y'all got, OKC or Minnesota? Oh, man, here comes some crazy people. Man, let me get the hell away from y'all. You crazy? I got something crazy in this car for you. They're gonna knock the crazy right out of you. I pushed work on the triple beam scale, all plushed out cold, crack under fingernail. Hey, it's a good day. All right, I'ma holler. Dun, 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 dun.